Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Friday, Tom. Yes.
Yes. Good morning, Bob. It is a big day. Discoveries of the week.
Discoveries of the week. That's what I'm saying.
Favorite days.
Big day. Big
Awesome.
day. A lot going on.
Well, welcome everyone to Friday edition of today's Antidote, where we always dive into what we discovered from our week of conversation. This week's conversation is all about valuing others' hours. And we talked a lot about marketing and meetings and emails and requests and all of those type of things. And we'll get to our discoveries in just a few minutes. But we want to welcome you for being a part of this cast that is broad and pod, and one that is both pod and broad together. If you're on Spotify, you can now watch, as we shared yesterday. So amazing, the technologies that are out there for us to help share our message.
Indeed.
Excellent. So if you are watching today on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or LinkedIn Live.
You threw me off there. I wasn't ready for that.
Please feel free to share a comment, whether something that you discovered or something else that you wanted to share about valuing others' hour. And if you are listening to the podcast, please feel free to share it to someone else. You can also rate our show.
5 stars.
5 stars.
You podcast people, I've got 5 fingers up.
Yes, he didn't say 5 and put up 4 fingers, which is good. Or just 1 finger if you haven't been rating our podcast. So none of that
I read that a different way. When you said 1 finger, I thought you were going a different way.
You never know.
I do not.
So welcome, and we want you to be a part of that. If you don't want to share it, or don't have a chance to share it, or it comes up later, always go to our Ring and Renegades Facebook group, and you can share that within the group, because we know that there'll be others out there who likely could see that and say, either, as Bob said yesterday, I'm not alone, or it might be something you can respond to, and you can have a conversation around how to find solutions to the challenges that you might be facing. With that, let's get on to the way we start every show is with our celebrations. So, Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I am celebrating the incredible breadth of people I have in my life who make my days very exciting. Some more than others. They make them fun. They give me insights. I learn things I didn't know. I'm just really blessed. And today, that's one of the things I'm just really aware of.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's great to hear.
What are you celebrating?
I am celebrating that I had 2 great conversations yesterday as part of a strategic planning process. One of the things I really like doing is talking with people about what's going on within their organizations and giving them a chance to share. Because I think one of the ways we can value others' time is by giving them space to share that information. And so the opportunity to ask people, and one of the groups was the staff, who I think a lot of times don't get considered as we think about strategic plans. And yet they sometimes have some of the best ideas because they're living in the moment of it. So that's what I'm celebrating today. So now that we've done that, what is the nation celebrating today?
It is the Wright Brothers Day. That's right. This is the day that they flew at Kitty Hawk, the first air flight, after 2 bicycle operators in Ohio came to Kitty Hawk, had all kinds of problems, went back to Ohio, tried again, came back to Kitty Hawk. And if you haven't read, or if you're ever in North Carolina at Kitty Hawk, you can actually, they have a little museum and you can see what happened with the Wright brothers. And it's just a sand dune, and they went right off the sand dune. But we're talking about 2 serious entrepreneurs that had a vision, that were carving their own unique path. They saw a way to go from bicycle to air flight, and they did not get deterred. They were really close to running out of money. It's fascinating story. For anyone who is trying to carve their own path, the Wright brothers are a great model for how difficult it can be and how great it can be when it happens.
Fascinating. Are you sure that's the National Celebration Day?
I'm pretty sure that's the one.
Huh.
Because, Tom, here's how I know that. The Wright Brothers Day is also my birthday. So
Wait.
Those two things are the same day. I know.
Today's your birthday?
It is.
That, it's funny. I was trying to figure something out and I couldn't quite figure it out. And
what's that, Tom? What were you trying to figure out?
Well, let me show you what I was seeing throughout social media today. And maybe that explains some of the information. So watch this.
I have a hunch I'm going to see words of affirmation in a second.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it all out myself.
All right.
There you go.
Hello, Bob and Tom.
We have something special.
Sorry for interrupting the podcast. We know it's important, of course.
I felt like I should be telling you what we're celebrating, and it is not Uncle Day, and it's not Be Nice to Your Sibling Day. It's Bob's birthday, and we just wanted to say Happy birthday! And we love you.
We love you.
And we're proud of your accomplishments.
And we hope you do many, many more.
Hi, it's a beautiful day today, and I'm celebrating Bob Graham. Bob, you're a great guy, you're a great friend. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for everything you do.
I am celebrating Bob Graham today.
I am celebrating Bob Graham today.
We appreciate Bob Graham.
I am celebrating Bob Graham. Wait. I'm celebrating Bob Graham. Happy birthday.
I am celebrating Bob Graham today.
I am celebrating Bob Graham today.
December 17th isn't just the day I get to celebrate the fact that I did not have to share a bedroom with a younger sibling. It's also the day that we get to celebrate Bob. I want to thank Bob for his encouragement over the last year and thanking him for inviting me to the Renegade Success Network.
I am definitely celebrating Bob Graham today. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
What are you doing?
I'm celebrating Bob's birthday. Happy birthday, Bob. Have many, many more. Woohoo! 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 Woohoo!
I'm celebrating Bob Graham. Who's Bob Graham?
1, 2, 3.
Now we will bring you back to Bob and Tom and their podcast.
So that's why I can't understand why it's the Wright. You sure it's the Wright Brothers is the National Celebration Day? It's not Bob Graham Day?
Tom, thank you. And thank you all those people. It's an incredible cast of people that did that it gets back to what I was celebrating. I'm blessed with so many people around me that care, and I don't always remember that. And that was perfect proof that people took time out of their busy schedule to say something nice about me or saying, celebrating me is just awesome. So thank you. I know that takes a lot of work to do, and I appreciate that. It's a very kind gift. So thank you, Tom.
Don't think I celebrated something else. You didn't see me on there. No, I'm just kidding. For those of you who are listening to the podcast, you should, if you get a chance, go to somewhere, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn Live. And it is well worth watching that. So
or Spotify.
Or
now you
Spotify.
Can see the video on Spotify.
Correct. You can now watch it on Spotify. So that's what I thought the nation was celebrating, because all those people were celebrating Bob Graham. So.
That was awesome.
So we hope that you have a great day. All right. So now let's try to get back to really valuing other people's time, because we just valued yours. So let's talk about our discoveries of the week. We're talking about valuing others' hours. And we talked a little bit about meetings on Monday. We talked about emails. We talked about requests. We talked about trust and how that plays into it. And all of which I thought were really great conversations around how do we consider others' hour. And so I thought that there's lots to take away from that.
So many little nuggets along the way, but I want to see if I can get at something big, which is the title, Valuing Others' Hour. The key word there is value. What is someone's time worth? What is it? All those people that you saw do those videos for me, probably took them 3, 5, 7 minutes. I get that they took that time. That's the thing to me that's nicest about it, is they took time out of their busy lives, and all those people are busy, and did that because they saw the value in that. And I don't think we often see that as leaders, as business owners. We focus on our time. Time is money. I got to be making money with my time. But sometimes I think when we get away from that mentality and go, how can I value someone else's time? That's when we have the opportunity to really do amazing work.
Absolutely. No, I think it's a great part of all of this, is that it's very easy to get wrapped up in our time. And we had a long conversation about that, some of the challenges and good things about that last week. So if that's something that you are still struggling with, how do you value your own time? Because it's hard to value someone else's time if you're not valuing yours. Go back to last week. I think it would be like episodes 464 through 468 or something like that, where you value your hour. And because I think that's really helpful. I think the thing that sort of kept coming up for me is that we're all unique, right? And so what we value isn't necessarily what someone else values, and even what someone else on the same team values. I remember we had this conversation one time about incentives for employees, and that, some people, well, we'll just give them a raise.
Or a bonus.
Correct. And for some people, that's great. And for others, they're like, man, it would have been nice to have the afternoon off, an extra day off, the week between Christmas and New Year's off, an extra day sometime you could use in the year. They value that. Or, some other thing. Maybe they get a promotion, whatever. And I think that when we forget that, we don't often consider how we value others' time. One of the great conversations we had that I know stumped you, and I think that was maybe why it sticks out as memorable to me, was we were talking about requests and how to value someone's time in the request. And that, one of the things you talked about was one way to do that is make sure they have all the information, so they really understand why this is an important request. And I think when I said, well, what if there's somebody who just doesn't want all the backstory? They just want to do the task so they can move on to whatever is next. And for me, I think that crystallized the idea that, and if you want to hear that whole story, that was part of Wednesday's episode. I think it valued that everyone is different, and that we can't just look at 2 people or 4 people or 6 or 100 or 1,000 or whatever our team is, and assume that they are all valuing things the same way. That we really have to take to try to think about the individual, if we can, and learn what is it that they value, so that we can be more effective in what we do. I think part of it is, and value our time differently. So if you have someone who doesn't want the whole backstory, they just want to know, okay, what do I need to do? When does it need to get done? Perfect. Now leave me alone and let me get it done. Then we can take our time back where we don't have to explain that, and know that if I'm going to go give this person this request, all I have to do is give it to him. Great, done. Might even be I can send it to him in an email.
Right.
And they can get to it if the time allows, and they can get to it when they can. And for others, I'm going to have to go and say, this is why this is person is unique, and that how they value their hour is going to be very different.
The video that you were so kind to put together for me today checked a box I know you know about me. That video would have been nice for you, but wouldn't have resonated with you the way it does with me, right?
Maybe not.
Okay. I'm not saying I'll do one of those because that's way too much work and I'm lazy.
Which is again one of the other things that I think you know about me is I love giving, and that there was, for me, the connecting and reaching out to those people, that there was a lot that I got in return for that.
Right. And so there's one of those things where when you talk about valuing time, you put a value on your time to go out and reach out to those people, and rather going, I got to do this thing for Bob. This really stinks. I really don't want to do this. You got value out of it. You found the value for you. And in connecting with those people, you probably had an opportunity to provide them value, because I don't think you talk to all those people without some exchange of something valuable. I just know that had to happen one way or another.
Yeah.
And so it's when we start thinking about it that way, I think we value conversations. I think we value people's time, but often I don't think we even realize we're doing it.
Well, it was interesting that when I first reached out to people, it was last week, not knowing, I mean, I knew the conversation this week was about valuing others' hour. I didn't really remember requests being one of them. And in reality, I was asking them. And what's fascinating is there was two of the people that I asked kind of last minute and didn't give as much value to their time as I probably should have, because they had less time to figure it out. And so now they had to work into their schedule a request that I had for them. Whereas the other people had a little longer time to do it when they were able to. And I think in that regard, as we talked about earlier in the week, that it was being aware of all the other things that are going on and not just devaluing their hour by saying, whatever I'm asking you to do is more important than what you have going on.
Right. And I think that's the trap we fall into all the time in life.
Absolutely.
The most important person at all times is me. I know you're busy, Tom, but come on. I've got so many things going on. I got to deal with this and this and this. And so I'm capable of prevailing upon you because, hey, my time's the most important. Your time is secondary. And I think when we can shift that discussion around to, okay, what if our time is equal in value? And what if we think about ways, how do you maximize someone's time? Certainly asking them to do that video a week in advance gives them some time to think about what they're going to say, where they're going to do it. They're not going, I got to do this. This is one more thing to do. And I think we do that all the time with people inadvertently. I don't think we do it consciously or intentionally, but the result is, to the person being prevailed upon, they're being devalued.
Yes, and I think you're right. I don't think we intentionally do it. It's just we need to get this done. Like that's our thought process. We need to get this done. I don't have time to do it. My time is more valuable. Let me give it to somebody else. And for whatever reason, I feel like either they have more time, which is not true. We all have the same amount of hours in a day as long as we continue to live throughout the day. And they have other things that they have going on. It's funny. I can remember, just was thinking about this, is that, when I was younger in my career, one of the things I really loved to do is at noon, because I worked on a college campus, we went over and there's a whole group of people who played basketball. Yeah. And I was over there for an hour.
You told us this earlier in the week.
I think so. Well, and people would wonder, well, why am I working until 6 or 6:30? Like, well, I was single. I had nothing else to do. Right. And I enjoyed that. So I valued my time to stay, while others would look at it and be like, I'm out of here at 5 o'clock. Whatever I need to do to get me out, because they were looking at it differently. And I think that, to me, it just continues to resonate this point that we are all unique and that we need to consciously think about that with almost every action we take.
Right. I had a job where it was great to work at about 5:15 to 6:30. I could get so much work done because the only people there were the people dedicated to their work. They had no discussion. You weren't getting emails. You were in the zone. And I got into the habit of just staying to do that and doing things in the middle of the day because I was getting more work done because I wasn't being distracted. And I think that's valuing my hour, but also valuing the other people's hours that, yeah, they're going to send emails during the day and they need to be responded to. But 5:15, that's done. And I need to get these things done today. And I think what we've learned through the pandemic, as we talked about at least twice this week, is how people get things done is not as important as them getting them done. We don't need to know all the nuances. There could be someone who loves to get up at 4 a.m, work from 4 to noon, and as long as they're at the meetings we need them to be at, who cares?
Right. I think the only thing I would caution within that is the how. Is that as long as it's done to completion.
Yes.
And successfully, yes. Correct. But the
process doesn't, it doesn't. But I think one of the things I see with a lot of leaders is their way is the only way. And what I often find is when someone else comes in and does something I've done, they come up with really great ideas. You and I had it the other day. We were talking about the podcast with someone, and they gave us a really great observation.
Well, and I think that's the thing is that, often we don't want to bother other people. Sometimes we don't want to bother other people with our stuff because we think they're too busy.
Right.
And in reality, doing that might be really beneficial on both sides.
Yes.
And they might be looking to help. And I think that's, often a time if you're a team member, like, well, I don't really want to go to my supervisor or my team leader with this because I know they're really busy. So I'm going to sit and struggle with it. When if I figured out a way, they may say, it's a really good use of my time for you to come in here and me to spend 15 minutes to help you do it more effectively than to have you sit and struggle with it.
Right.
And I think those assumptions that we make are some of the times the things that get us in trouble. So if you're somebody out there who is struggling with some of these things, you either are struggling how to value your time to do all the things you want to get done, or you have stopped and said, wow, maybe I need to really reconsider how I value others' time and wish you could do things differently. We have a great program coming up for you over the next couple of weeks where we are going to help you go from I wish to success, the Renegade Way. It's a workshop that is complimentary that Bob and I are giving it. We're going to give it twice. So if you can't make one of the dates, maybe you'll be able to make the other. The first date is Monday, December 27th. I keep forgetting if it's Monday or Tuesday. Monday, December 27th at noon Eastern, and it'll last maybe 75 minutes at the most. Or it will be Tuesday, January 4th at 7 p.m. And if you're looking for more information about that, you can go to the Renegade Success Net. Go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. There will be a link in there that under programs, it'll say from I Wish to Success, the Renegade Way. Click on that and you'll get all the details you want and a place where you can sign up and register. And we'd love for you to join us. And if you have a friend who says, I wish or I want a lot and yet doesn't ever seem to accomplish those dreams and desires and goals, invite them along because I think it will help them be in a much better place for 2022 and they will actually achieve the things that they wish and desire.
And you didn't mention, Tom, this is our gift to people. So there's no charge for this. This is something last year we did something and we really felt like it was really valuable to us and to the people we try to help. And so this is a chance for us to give back. So there's no fee. So you can invite your friends and you're not going to have to pay for them and they're not going to have to pay. So it's a great opportunity to get some really good information. And our workshops are not stare at PowerPoints. Far, far, far from it. In fact, Tom, I have a hunch we're going to do it without PowerPoints.
Absolutely. And yeah. I did say that it was complimentary.
Did you? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Maybe it's because I didn't say free, or I didn't do free.
Nice.
It would have garnered more attention. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us this week for another great conversation around valuing others' hour. If you have thoughts or ideas, or you're struggling with this, and you can't make the workshop, or you don't want to, reach out to Bob or I, and we can start to have a conversation of how we might be able to help you work through that, whether individually or through our Renegade Success Network. So please feel free to join us inside the Ring of Renegades, or we will see you Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, for our next edition of Today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, thanks all those people that did those videos for me. It was really kind. Can't thank you enough. And hey, all of you, embrace the renegading you.
Yes. And happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that.
Thanks for listening to Today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.